Here is my first Dreamworks Twisted Tale story. Hope you all enjoy. In a place that men would come to call the Old West, but to animals an ageless land, with no beginning and no end, no boundary between earth and sky, stood a herd of horses meeting their newest member, who would one day become leader of the herd. Though he caused some trouble, he proved he was a wild, strong, brave Mustang. After a few seasons gone by, he grew from colt to stallion and became leader of the Cimarron herd, and with that honour came responsibility. One day, after racing his eagle friend, he noticed a cougar sneaking towards two colts, playing away from the herd. Before it could pounce on them, he managed to get between the predator and the scared foe, and after a struggle was able to scare it off. Yeah, that's right, nobody messes with my herd, he thought. But one night, after making sure his herd was okay before they went to sleep, he noticed something strange. A flicker of light in the distance, and despite his mother's warnings, he went to check it out. As he got nearer to the mysterious light, he suddenly saw some horses sleeping next to a tree. What were they randomly doing there, and what was on their heads, he wondered. Then one of them woke up and saw him, and he found out they were tied to the tree. But that wasn't the only weird thing. Next to the light that turned out to be a small fire, there were these weird-looking two-legged creatures. He'd never seen an animal like that before. But as he got closer to investigate, they suddenly woke up and he ran off. Whoa, did you see that horse? He's beautiful. Come on men, let's go, he heard them say. Then he saw them chasing him on the horses' backs. Why would these horses letting these creatures do this to them? After a short time he was able to lose them, but after returning to his herd he realized they found him and warned his herd to get to safety, as he lured them the other way. But eventually something caught around his neck and he went down. He realized they caught him, and they dragged him away from his home and herd. After many miles, they brought him to this enclosed barrier-like place, where there were at least a dozen other horses and a dozen two-legged creatures. He had to get out of there. But then he heard a loud noise and saw another one of them looking at him. We got a crazy one here, sir, one of them said, as the one who made the noise walked towards him. He might not understand everything these creatures were saying, but he knew this particular one was their leader, and he felt challenged. Soon they geared him up and sat on his back, but he was able to throw all of them off, minus their leader, who was just watching. Tied his horse to the post. No food or water for 3 days, he ordered. For 3 days he was tied to a post with no food or water around, and he was starting to grow weaker. But his spirit was still strong, and somehow he will find a way back to his herd. When morning came, he saw those two-legged creatures line up as their leader walked around staring at him. How long has the Mustang been tied? He asked one of them. 3 days, sir, that one answered. Good. Fetch my crop and spurs, he ordered. So he was finally taking his turn, was he? Leader versus leader, he thought, as his rival mounted. He tried to trick the youth to get the others off, but his opponent held on, while he was getting tired and desperate to throw him off. He then remembered the move he did when confronting the cougar and performed the same dangerous role, but he stayed in the saddle. He was exhausted, he wasn't sure what else to do. Both men and horses who were watching stood surprised. You see, gentlemen, any horse can be broken. Discipline, time, and patience are the 3 great levers, he said, enjoying his victory as he rode around. Soon the defeated Mustang had something weird and heavy feeling put on his hooves and his rival on his back many times, but there wasn't much he could do about it. He put up a good fight, but his rival won. One day while training, one of his members ran up to him. "Sir, while scouting the area we saw some more horses," he said. "Excellent. We need as many as we can get for the railroad. Come morning I'll lead a small team to round them up," he said. By morning he and a couple of his men were riding towards the area where the wild horses were, their leader, of course, riding his newest Mustang. "Perfect," he said when they arrived seeing the group of horses. But to his horse there was something familiar about this herd. Then he remembered this was his herd. He then saw two of the soldiers chasing after his mother. He had enough. Messing with him is one thing, but nobody messes with his herd. His rival might have won, might think he broke him, but he'll never break what he is. He's a Mustang, wild and free. Then without warning he reared up, managed to snatch the reins and bucked around till he was able to throw both his rider and the saddle off. This time he won. "Sir," the rest of them said as they went to check on him, while his now rogue horse went to save his mother, and was able to get the two guys off their horses. "You crazy horse, you belong to me," he yelled. But like the cougar, he was able to chase them out of his territory. It took a while, but like the time he got his tongue stuck to an icicle during his childhood, he was eventually able to get those weird heavy things off his hooves, while his mother helped with the head thing with the weird bit in his mouth. He was free and back with his herd, and he was going to make sure nobody messed with him or them again. He was a wild Mustang. He was spirit, who could not be broken. The end. Hope you all enjoyed.